LiveHipHopDaily.tv.
We are back. I'm your host, Terrell Thomas, and we just gave you a few minutes to check out NBA star Malcolm Delaney, who has joined us at the desk. Now, if you're tuned in live right now and you want to call in and chat with us, you want to chime in on the conversation after the interview or throughout the show, make sure you call in 404-382-8022. Once again, that number is 404-832-8022. But without any further introductions, I'm joined right now by Baltimore native / NBA and Atlanta Hawks star Malcolm Delaney. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Appreciate you coming out here today, man. Now, as I just gave mention to, you're a native of Baltimore, Maryland. I'm from Philly, so I'm very familiar, of course, with that area. What is it about Baltimore that breeds so many NBA or just basketball stars? You have yourself, you have Carmelo Anthony, Angel McCarthy, who plays in the WNBA. Kevin Durant is from that area. So many stars in sports come from Baltimore. What is it about that area? What's in the water over there?
The biggest thing about our city is the toughness. I think when you ask anybody about anything that got to do with Baltimore, is anything making it out. If you can make it out, whatever you're doing, there's not many options. You know, we don't have as many opportunities as most cities. So for me, you know, growing up in the city, it was either sports or, you know, you could be smart, but at the same time, we didn't have as many school opportunities for everybody. You know, our public school system wasn't too good. So, you know, for me, I had to get out in high school, go to a private school where the basketball was better. You can get a better education, make sure I qualify for college. And then just making it out of there, man, it's so many hoopers that haven't even made it out because, you know, they got caught up in the streets or they didn't even make it to C18. But you just hear all the stories. So for me, I just wanted to, you know, be one of the ones that was different. You know, I never been locked up, never sold drugs. I grew up in the hood, but I think everybody from my neighborhood respected my family. So they wouldn't even disrespect my family by letting me do it if I wanted to. So for me, you know, I just took pride in always being that guy in the city who, you know, stayed out of trouble. I mean, I was still outside. I grew up outside in the streets. I never was in the house, but at the same time, I knew what to do and what not to do. And I think for every player or anything, person to make it out the city, I think everybody got that in, and everybody respect our heart.
Now, many folks don't know, a lot of professional athletes these days were dual sport athletes in their younger years. I know that applies to you as well. You were an exceptional athlete in football and basketball in your high school years. When did you decide to kind of shift towards just basketball?
My sophomore year. You know, like I won a Pop Winter National Championship and AAU National Championship, like football and basketball when I was growing up, 15 and 14. So my freshman year, I went to a football school, a big-time school, and they put me on varsity. And I was better than the quarterback, but I didn't understand the politics. So, you know, them just trying to move me around out of position, you know, I just lost love for the game. And I was still getting football letters as a senior. I wasn't even playing. So I got my first scholarship offer as a sophomore from LaSalle University, and that's when I really decided to just take it serious. I transferred, went to a better basketball school, and just took off from there.
Oh, that's dope. So LaSalle up in Philly, they gave your first offer and whatnot.
My first offer.
And you ended up at Tech, right? Virginia Tech.
Yep.
So talk to me, as we just gave mention to, you ended up at Virginia Tech, but before entering the NBA, you actually played overseas, and you were very dominant overseas as well, winning championships in Germany, finals MVPs in Germany, MVPs in both German and the Ukraine league. So talk to me a little bit about your experience playing overseas and how that prepares you for the NBA.
For me, it was tough because, you know, I should have been drafted. I put my name in my junior year, actually, but I was hurt. Probably my best year in college, but I couldn't go through the process. But my senior year, I thought I should have been drafted, but it was the lockout year. So my biggest thing was to go overseas and get some money. My agent had a good plan, and my plan was just to go over for 1 year, come back, you know, play summer league and then get in the league. But I got into a bad situation with Detroit Pistons. You know, I came back after having a good year overseas, and they didn't play me. So I kind of lost out on a lot of money that year because they didn't play me. So from that point on, you know, I was off the NBA. Honestly, I didn't watch NBA games, nothing. I was like, my focus was, my goal was to try to be a millionaire by 25. And overseas, it was doable for me, I felt like. And that was just my focus. Like, every day I hated being overseas, but at the same time, I wanted to provide for my family, make sure I was good. And like I said, just that goal for me was try to get that by 25, and that's just, I zoned in until I got there.
Now, as you just gave mention to briefly, you did enter your name in the draft. In 2010, you entered your name, but being as though you didn't hire an agent, you were able to go back to school. What all played into that process, and what do you remember about that process? And did that process kind of shape, when you got the opportunity to be in the NBA now?
It was tough for me because that year they changed the rule. It was a shorter time frame to make the decision. So I really only had like 2 weeks. Like, it wasn't like now where you can go through a month, get some workouts in, and go back. I had a chance to get 2 workouts. One, I had the flight got canceled, so I couldn't make it to Detroit. And then I went to Portland. I had a great workout, and they told me they seen me like early second round and able to work my way up in the first. But like I said, I was hurt and I couldn't fight through like I wanted to, so I didn't want to accept second round. So I decided to go back to school. Unfortunately, we had some injuries my senior year, and we were predicted actually preseason #1 in the ACC. And then we had a few injuries and just set us back. But I'm here now, so I don't have nothing to complain about.
Now, you are here now. This was your first year as a member, your rookie season in the NBA, your first year as a member with the Atlanta Hawks. Not too far, right down the street at Phillips Arena. We covered the Hawks game, so I was able to see you, from media day at the beginning of the year up until now. And we've seen firsthand, your growth as a player in the NBA. But talk to me a little bit about your rookie season in the NBA. It was a very streaky year for the Atlanta Hawks. We seen them go on 9-win streaks. We seen you guys go on 7-game losing streaks, but in my opinion, you guys were easily one of the top 5 teams in the East. It didn't. As far as seeding is concerned in the playoffs, it didn't end up like that, and you guys ended up exiting a little early in the first round to the Washington Wizards. Can you talk to me about your rookie season with the Hawks?
For me, I'm hard on myself, so for me it was disappointing. Just for the simple fact I know what I can do, but I think just me getting adjusted to the lifestyle. Everything is different from NBA and overseas, so it took me a while to really understand the NBA game, not just on the court but off the court. So I think I just did too much trying to make sure everybody was happy around me, and I went away from myself. I went away from my game and what I do best, just to try to make everybody else happy. So my biggest thing, my regret is, I should have been more aggressive. Stuck to what I know I can do, and then if that didn't work and that wasn't wanted, then I just wasn't good enough. But I know from now on, I know how to treat the situation in the league, and I just got to go out swinging. So I'm just working on my game right now, getting back to doing what I do, what got me here, what established me in Europe in my whole career, and then hopefully next year will be a little bit better.
Well, although you were pretty tough on yourself just now, saying I'm disappointed. As I said, we definitely saw growth in you throughout the season. And on Media Row, we were kind of critique each of the players, and you and Torian were my favorite 2 players this year, just as far as development was concerned, because we did see some of the struggles in the beginning of the season, and the way you guys closed out the season was phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to see what you bring to the table in the 2017-18 season. But going back to last season, talk to me. Give me one of your fondest memories of the 2016-17 season, and then also let me know who was your toughest cover.
I would say when we beat Cleveland back to back, when we rested some guys and beat them, and I think we came down like 20.
Rested them in Cleveland, right, and beat them at home,
and then came back at home. I think that were the two best wins, and then the toughest check I would say might have to be Westbrook. He just relentless. Like he find a mismatch and he go at it every time. And that's a dude like you can't take a play off on. This Kyrie and Steph, those guys are good. IT probably second. I would say Westbrook and then IT.
Okay.
Top 2.
Now, I've seen via social media, and you just gave us a little mention, I've seen you've been in the gym heavy since the offseason has began. I know you've been training at Phillips Arena. You also recently did something with the Skills Factory. Can you just talk to me about who you've been training with during this offseason and what exactly you're working on?
The main guy, I train with Charles Lee, our assistant coach. And we just like I said, he getting back to just get me in my bag, man. I went away from myself. So, he's taking pride in getting me back to what I do this summer. Definitely improving on my jumper. I think I went away from it a lot, just settling too much for mid-range stuff, and I'm a great shooter. So I'm just getting back to finishing around the rim, working on my floaters, getting more threes up, and just being aggressive, not being so much passive where I'm taking myself and my confidence out of the game. And that's the biggest thing for me, play confident, like I said, if I miss a shot, I can't think about it. And my rookie year over, so I got too caught up in rookies don't get calls, rookie this, rookie that. So now, next year going in, I can leave that behind me. I had a year in the league, got my feet wet now. I'm ready to, it's my contract year. So trying to do my best to help Atlanta and also help myself.
Now, although you're a rookie or moving into your sophomore year now, right after the All-Star break, I don't know if you know it or not, but you kind of are becoming an NBA social media sensation because of your footwear.
Mm-hmm.
You've been taking it back and bringing out some classic kicks. One of the highlights, actually, I know you when the Hawks wore the blue Hawks jersey, you came out with the old Garnets, and I seen Twitter and Instagram going crazy about that. Talk to me a little bit about your love for sneaks. And are we going to continue to see you pulling out these classic sneaks as the seasons continue?
Yeah, for sure. My thing with shoes is like my parents, when I grew up, like, my family wasn't rich, but we weren't poor either. But the biggest thing for us was like playing sports and getting Jordans. So the only way we could get or do both is to do good in school. So that used to be their bribe for me. You do good in school. Saturday, my mother was taking me to the mall getting whatever Jordans came out. Like Foot Locker knew my family. Like they knew exactly what we wanted when we came in there. So it just was something from an early age. I always liked to play in nice shoes. Even when I played football, I was playing in Jordan cleats. It's just always been my thing. So I think last year overseas we played 62 games. I might have wore like 51 different pairs of shoes. And I'm signed with Nike now, so they kind of limit what I can do. So I ain't really showed like nothing this year because I can only wear Nike. They won't really let me wear Jordan. So. For sure, I got some stuff already ready for next season. So you always gonna see me for sure. I take pride in being the best, having the best shoe game on the team. So whenever we're on the floor, you expect me to have the best shoes.
Now I'm gonna briefly bring our audience into the Hawks locker room and whatnot. Post game, it's almost like a club. You never know what you may hear, in the locker room as far as music is concerned. That's what you never know what you may hear, as far as music is concerned, in that Hawks locker room. Yeah. So if you have a chance to have the aux cord and it's DJ Delaney controlling the sounds in the Hawks locker room, what are we gonna be listening to?
Like I just told you, I've been listening to a lot of old school Jada, Fab. Some new dudes. I listen to like Uzi, Future, Jeezy, Gotti, some dudes like that. But I'm more like I like the old Fab, like bars. Like I've been listening to that a lot lately. Even like Shine, like the old Shine. I've been listening to that. But the new stuff is good for the club. You're in a car with a nice system. Mm-hmm. But if I'm just sitting down listening to music, I downloaded that. I downloaded the other day some old Kanye, like 808 Heartbreak. Like College Drive, I've been downloading all old stuff. So
I respect that.
I've been on but Fab and Kiss is my two favorite rappers, so they heavy in the playlist.
Have you had a chance outside of working out during your relaxed time? Have you had a chance to check out any of the NBA finals? And if so, what are your thoughts been on the finals so far, and who you think is going to actually win the title this year?
Yeah, I've been watching it. I'm gonna say Golden State in 5. I'm gonna give it 5 games. Cleveland is good, LeBron is good, but it's just too much. He got to do too much. His triple-double ain't enough for what Golden State got. Like, they got, like, one of them can take a quarter off. LeBron can't take a quarter off. And that's what you see, like, he played good for 3 quarters, and then he get tired. And if he not taking over that 4th quarter, you got KD fresh, Steph fresh, and Clay fresh. And then Draymond been playing well. So it's I just think they got too much. It's a little bit too much this year.
As we get ready to let you go, let me know, what else do you have going on outside of basketball? We know the 2017-18 season is right around the corner. That'll be kicking off towards the end of September, beginning of October. You're in the gym every day working out. What do you have going on outside of basketball?
Besides grinding, man, I just been, I got some of my young boys down here and just enjoying life, man. Vacationing. I'm gonna go to Scottsdale this weekend just to, take a weekend off, relax. A couple vacations, go home, see my family, spend some time with my brother, and then I got my first camp next Saturday. Okay. Back at the crib. So just doing stuff like that.
Promote that for a second. Let them know where they can come check you out.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the first annual Malcolm Delaney Skills Academy at Curley High School. I think it's from 12 to 4. Okay. Next on the 17th, I think that's next Saturday. So I'm excited about that. My program, I got an AAU team, just to get them guys in the gym. I haven't been around youth basketball in Baltimore as much because I've been in Europe for 5 years, and then being in Atlanta now, so I get a chance to interact with the kids and do a little bit more, put my name on a few things.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Why don't you also let folks know where they can follow you and what you have going on via social media?
Yeah, man. Instagram FOE2304, Twitter FOE23, Snap FOE2304. Just follow me, man. You're always gonna see some funny, dope stuff, man.
Yeah, that is true. I follow you. I get a lot of comedy out of your page. Once again, we want to thank you for coming through, man.
No problem.
Malcolm Delaney of the Atlanta Hawks. Make sure you follow what he has going on. We'll be continuing next season to bring you guys live coverage from the Hawks games, so you'll see a lot more from this gentleman. And I'm gonna just go ahead and throw this out there right now. I can see you being the most improved player next year. I can see you being the most improved player in the NBA next year. So we're going to go ahead and throw that out there. Once again, thank you to Mr. Delaney. If you're in the Baltimore area, go check him out next week and see what he has going on. Learn from the pros. That's the best way to get started. We're going to keep the show moving right along. We're going to hit you off with some new videos. We're going to take y'all up to Philly with Meek Mill left Hollywood. We're going to take y'all to LA with some Ye Ali. And then we're going to come back. We got some more guests that'll be coming in from the WNBA, also from Baltimore. Miss Angela McCarthy will be in the building, so stay tuned. These Urban Times, you're rocking with Terrell Thomas on Live Hip Hop Daily TV.